Welcome back, everybody. Aga Swiecki here from SKG. And today I have a super fun subject for you that is very fitting for December as 2020 ends and 2021 is about to begin. This is all about writing visions, building vision boards, and creating your big why. So your big reason. And the reason why we're talking about it and why we're talking about it now, because this is the perfect time to sum up your year, reflect on what you've learned, where you expanded, what mattered to you, and then also take that and move into 2021 with more intention, more outcome, clear vision, and also think bigger and further. So this is going to be fun. This is actually a practice I do every year in December because I like to reflect on my year and then move into the new year fresh in January. And I think you're going to find it super useful. This is something you can also do with your family or with friends. If you've done vision boards before, the actual ones, not the digital ones, you know that this is something that can be done over a happy hour. This is something that can be done in a family gathering where everybody cuts out photos and pictures and they basically make this beautiful creative vision board. So I highly encourage you to do that too. Any time from now, really, for the whole month of December. So why do we want to even talk about it is, number one, your mind is cybernetic. Your mind needs a target. And think about this. We all have habits. And by habits, I don't necessarily only mean physical habits, mental habits, emotional habits. And these habits create behaviors. And those behaviors in return create our reality, right? So if we don't change these patterns, our 2021 will look a lot like 2020, behavior-wise, event-wise, just life-wise. Not necessarily, we're not talking about 2020, COVID and everything that happened. So what we do want to do is, number one, give our mind a target, because remember, everything is created from the inside out. Everything sustainable is created from the inside out, not outside in. So what we want to do, and this is super, super important, as you're going through this process and writing visions, which, by the way, should be focused on really every area of your life. So not just work, not just relationships, but everything, wellness, fitness, health, hobbies and interests. Everybody's different. Expand to as many categories as possible. And it goes in this order: be, do, and have. So most people, when they're asked, what is it that you want? First of all, they have a very tough time saying what they do want. They focus on what they don't want, right? That's just how we're wired. But in this case, number one, focus on what you do want, but focus on being first, then doing second, and then lastly on having. Because most of the time people are creating their vision boards and it's, I want this car, I want this job, I want this kind of relationship. Where in fact, if you start from being, that's the inside out, it's A, more sustainable. Two, it's going to make a lot more sense because you're going to realize why you want these things, the doing and the having that are coming next. And it will make you more solid as a creator. So we're going to focus on, who do I want to become first as a person, in my relationships, all of my relationships, in my work, as a leader, as a business owner, as a mom, as a dad, whatever roles you're playing, whatever areas of your life you want to focus on. We're gonna talk about the traits, the characteristics that I want to develop in order to become more. Then we're going to move into doing. So what is it that I want to do in 2020? What speaks to me? What expands me? What makes me a better person? And then lastly, we're going to talk about having. This should be the easiest for you. It usually is the easiest. But also, if you start from being, all of these three are going to be connected and parallel, and you're going to realize why you want to have certain things. And maybe you're going to actually let go of certain things that you realize you don't want as much. So definitely be, do, have. Okay, the next thing is closing the year and then beginning January of 2021. So a really good way of closing the year is whether on an individual level, so just you with yourself, or you can do it with other people, maybe your family, is to reflect on the last 12 months and figure out, write down. I highly recommend writing things down, always. Lessons, life lessons. What have I learned? Where have I expanded? Where did I become better? Where did I become stronger? Where did I become more understanding or flexible? Things that happened that I really appreciate. My gratitude. I usually write down a whole list of things that I'm grateful for that happened that year. The longer, the better. And then lastly, the things I would like to let go of. So as I'm moving into 2021, what are some things that are no longer supporting me and no longer serving me? What are those things? And usually they're habits. We all have them. So don't feel bad about certain bad habits. That's just being a human. But you can actually make a list of these things and commit to letting go of them. So that's a big one, and that's a major one, because it also helps you into moving into 2021 and starting with a clean slate, and narrow down those habits that you actually want to develop or practice or expand. So then you're moving into January with a new vision. The mind has a target. The mind knows, who do I want to be? What do I want to do? And what do I want to have? Now the thinking patterns are going to start aligning. How do I need to think in order to have these things and be these things and do these things in 2021? And the mind starts thinking, these are the habits that will support me. And I promise you, on the way to this, you're going to also find habits as you go that no longer serve you, that you didn't see. Thinking patterns, emotional patterns, even a simple thing of flexibility. Plans change, projects go not as well as you want them to go. I can still maintain a positive state of mind because it's a choice. So that's a big one. Closing, letting go of things. I call it cleaning out the closet. Just like you're cleaning out the closet to get rid of the things that you don't wear anymore, they don't fit you anymore. It's the same thing with mental and emotional patterns and physical habits. Same thing. Clear it out so you can start fresh. And highly encourage you to do every December. If you have kids, this would be a great opportunity to do something together. We talked about, and of course, we talked about exploring all areas of your life. So remember, you are a multi-dimensional being. You're not one way. It's not just career. It's not just relationships. It's all of you, and all of you is important. That's why sitting down and actually journaling in all of these categories, what is it that I need to become in the future, will allow you to shape this 2021 the way you want it. And think, because this really sparks creativity. Whether you are into writing visions or not, this sparks tremendous creativity, because it also makes you realize how small we think sometimes. And if we think the same way, we're going to have the same results. If we think bigger and further, we're going to get different results. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time.